Hello and welcome to the iconic Mestalla here in the vibrant east coast city of Valencia, Spain, where today Los Che take on Atletico Madrid in round of 34 of the 25-26 La Liga campaign. It's a fixture that has not been especially kind to Valencia in recent times. They haven't beaten Atletico since September 23 and have just managed a single goal across their last 4 meetings. They come into this game sitting 12th in the table on 39 points, but that victory over Girona last time out has given them a valuable 5-point cushion above the relegation zone. They may well need it too, with a demanding run-in, which includes a final day meeting against Barcelona, who thrashed them last time out in the reverse fixture. They come ready to take on Atletico, who are currently in 4th place with 60 points. But earlier today, Villarreal's thrashing 5-1 over Levante means that gap between 4th and 3rd place has stretched to 8 points. Potentially an unassailable gap between the two. Bearing in mind that Atleti's attention may not be solely on the domestic league right now. A 1-1 draw coming from behind against Arsenal at the Metropolitano in midweek leaves their Champions League tie finally poised ahead of a return leg in London on Tuesday. And that context is most certainly reflected in selection. Diego Simeone, using the need to rest some players, but also a mini injury crisis which has taken place, named a completely different starting 11 to the one that faced Arsenal. Rotation and injuries playing a part there. Atletico then start with Juan Musso making his first appearance since April. He turns 33 in 4 days' time. Will this be a good way to begin his birthday celebrations? The back four consists of Julio Díaz, Clement Lenglet and Robin Lemond. And on the right-hand side, Javier Boñar making his 3rd appearance of the campaign for the 20-year-old. Javi Morcillo on the left-hand side of midfield also makes his 3rd appearance. Obed Vargas and Rodrigo Mendoza in the centre of midfield, and Naul Molina on the right-hand side. Up in front of them is Thiago Almada, and making a first ever appearance in Diego Simeone's starting 11 for Atletico Madrid, it's Rayane Balaid, the Algerian born in Spain. For Valencia, one change from the team that beat Girona, Beltran, who's not in the matchday squad today. He's replaced by Filip Ugrinic up front. Alongside him is Omar Sadiq, who scored against Girona. Largi Ramasani, who also netted against Girona, starts with Guido Rodriguez, Javi Guerra and Luis Roja, who has the most assists so far this campaign in the midfield. Jose Gaya, who wears the captain's armband at left back. Cesar Tarrega, Pepe Lu, the defensive centre-halves, and Renzo Saravia on the right-hand side of defence. Stol Dimitrievski keeps his place in goal, making his 16th appearance of the campaign for Carlos Coberan's team. And we're now then just a couple of minutes away from the start of this afternoon's fixture. There remains after this 4 games for each team, for Atletico to try and bridge the gap that currently is between them and 3rd place, and for Valencia to do what they can to push away from that relegation zone. They haven't finished inside the top 4, Valencia, since 2019, and the home fans will be desperate for a return to form for the team that won La Liga in 2004. But since 2019, their highest position in the league has been 9th place. They flirted with relegation last season as well. It came together quite well in the end, but a number of incomings in the summer and also in the winter window as well has helped to boost the squad. But they will still be looking to get back to that form that they once enjoyed, this proud footballing city. Moments away from kickoff. Of course, a number of players on the bench for Diego Simeone who he may have to bring on if he feels is necessary, who form part of that Champions League starting 11. Ademola Lookman, Griezmann there up front, available on the bench. Koke and Cardosa in midfield. Pubil and Ruggeri also available in defence. And of course there is Jan Oblak, who will start this game from the bench. as we just get moments away now. Getting ourselves ready to begin. You can see and hear the fans here in the Mestalla. They expect something today. It's a cloudy day in Spain, but nonetheless we hope for something which will be exciting for La Liga round number 34. Valencia will be playing in their white and black, and the rojiblancos, the red and white of Atletico Madrid, will not be playing in red and white. They'll be in their away strip today. As the photos are taken, referee Jose Muñera lines up with his officials to get proceedings underway. Captain's armband being worn by Jose Gaya for Valencia. And it's actually Juan Musso, the Argentinian goalkeeper, number 1 on his jersey, who will be wearing the captain's armband for Atleti this afternoon. And he's one of just a handful of older players on the pitch today. He does have experience with his defensive halves, but there are the likes of 20-year-old Bonyar, 21-year-old Julio Diaz, 21-year-old Ryan Balaid. So a lot of youthful energy on the pitch for Atleti this afternoon. And Diego Simeone will be hoping that that does not impact proceedings in any way to the detriment of the visitors. They will, of course, even though there are changes in the squad, be looking to build confidence in preparation for the challenging fixture that lies ahead as they try to book their place in the Champions League final. Referee speaking to both sets of players. Longlet is there with his captain as well. Muñera giving his instructions. It's a packed house here at the Mestalla. It's located right in the central parts of Valencia as well. A hugely atmospheric stadium, this one. Very, very high as well. The seats, you really do look down from the gods here. But now, as Musso returns to his side, final huddles, final set of instructions. Los Che, or Los Murciélagos, as they're also known, the Bats of Valencia, of Carlos Coveran's team, taking their notes together. Must say it's a rather long process to get the game underway. Let's give you a few more statistics while we're waiting for kickoff, shall I? This reverse fixture back in December 2025 was a draw. Atleti 2, Valencia 2. Koke and Griezmann both on the score sheet for Atleti in that fixture. Neither of those, of course, starting today. And Beltran scoring for Valencia in the side. Also not in the matchday squad this afternoon. In total, of all the times of these teams coming together, Valencia has won it 5 times. There's been 10 draws, 20 wins to Atleti in the history of this fixture being recorded. So it is a dominant fixture for Atletico Madrid. Should there be the need for a spot kick, Atleti's only spot taker this season, Julian Alvarez, is out. He has picked up an injury. He picked up an injury against Arsenal, and they'll be very much hoping on his fitness in return to that trip to the Emirates in Tuesday. Just looking down here as well, it is such a high stadium. If you are at the top of the Mestalla, you are really likely to get vertigo. Looking down, it's almost vertical up there as well, right at the top of the gods of this stadium. And now we are about ready to get the game underway. Atleti in their blue away strip, get us started. They go from right to left as they play the ball over towards the right-hand side, and Valencia win themselves a throw on their left hand, which will be taken by Gaia. He throws into Tarrega. Tarrega plays the ball back to Dimitrievski, gets his first touch with the ball at his feet, Dimitrievski, and dribbles nonchalantly to the edge of his area and beyond the edge of his area, looking the epitome of calmness right at the beginning, and then passes to Pepelu. Tarrega now. Tarrega into Pepelu. Pepelu over to Gaia on the left-hand side, who passes then backwards to his goalkeeper as Dimitrievski comes out to the edge of his area to offer support in defence. And now Pepelu over on the right-hand side to Saravia. Saravia plays the ball this time back to Tarrega. Tarrega looking for options ahead of him and passes to Pepelu. Pepelu looks to play the ball aerially along the right-hand side to Saravia. Saravia heads it back down into the feet of Guerra. Guerra tries to play the ball long, looking for the run there of Rioja down the right-hand side, who has the most assists to his name so far for Valencia. Not quite able to pick him up with the pass, but Valencia picking up the second ball now and will have a chance again to try and make their way into the half. And there's going to be a free kick there given, I think, for a foul, as Gaia tried to get forward down the left-hand side, and he comes together with Naul Molina. Actually, I think Gaia may have been waved for offside prior to that. Just going to have a look here. He pushes the ball forward. Gaia off his chest, but I'm pretty sure the flag must have been up for the offside before they got started there. And it will be a free kick to Atleti, well within their own defensive half here. Now Molina still speaking with the referee. Gaia comes running over to get himself involved in the conversation and then gesticulates that Molina maybe needs to quit talking so much. Referee just trying to make sure he asserts himself in the early stages of the game as well to ensure control. And now we can resume. It took ages to get this game started, and now it's already a slight delay here in proceedings. So Atleti will now take their free kick out from the back. Coverano watching on, very experienced manager, of course, in multiple leagues, that time in the Premier League, times in Greece, as Ramassani tries to keep hold of the ball there in the middle, and he wins a free kick for being just slightly hauled to the ground by Lenormand there. And so Valencia will bring the ball just behind their own halfway line. Pepelu looks for options here and then passes on his right to Saravia. Saravia in towards Ramassani, and now an opportunity to try and get forward onto the right-hand side. Ramassani still going with his run here. Lovely little ball back to Guerra. Guerra will try and chase down, but it's well intercepted there. And now another chance for Rioja as he picks up a loose ball. Rioja trying to drive towards the centre of the box, has to go backwards and now plays a nice ball out towards the left-hand side. Oh, but he misplaces that pass. Molina is able to get in the way of that. And now back towards Lenormand. And this time into the feet of... I thought he was going back for the keeper. Instead, he goes back to Longlet. Longlet this time does turn back to Juan Musso. Lenormand over to Bonyar. Now back to Lenormand. And again back to Musso. It's the first time actually Atleti have had much of the ball since we got started here. This time the clearance only goes towards the halfway line, where it's headed away by Ugrinic. Ugrinic tries to get going from the halfway line. He's tripped there. No foul, says the referee. But Valencia win the second ball. They play back to Pepelu. Pepelu to Tarrega. Tarrega now just slightly takes the pace off the ball there and then passes to Guerra. Guerra plays the ball looking for the run of Sadiq. And that's a nice ball forward from Guerra. Trying to release Umar Sadiq. Just couldn't quite pick him out with the pass there. Just a little bit too much on it, but not a bad attempt at all to find the man who joined from Real Sociedad in this winter transfer window. He's already got 3 goals to his name in Valencia colours. Well, I say he joined, the loan was made permanently. He has a total of 36 appearances for Valencia. A goal last game against Girona, what could be a very important goal as well, should Valencia manage to ensure their safety in La Liga, which looking increasingly likely now, has to be said. Ramazani trying to get forward here on the right-hand side, passes to Sadiq. Sadiq goes back to Guerra. Guerra passes to Rodriguez. Guido Rodriguez goes to Tarrega. Tarrega plays the ball forward onto the left-hand side, looking for the run of Tarrega to try and get forward. Can't quite pick him out there. Goes back to the halfway line now. Tarrega plays the ball to Javi Guerra. This time on the right-hand side to Saravia. Saravia, lovely ball down the right-hand channel. Rioja will try and chase this one down. And again, just a little bit too much on the pass for the assist king of Valencia, Luis Roja, to be able to get that one. But still a nice attempt there from Renzo Saravia to play the ball long. And in these opening stages of the game, Valencia are really the only team who've managed to get out of their own half. Sure, the home fans will be enjoying these opening 5 minutes so far as the clearance is played long down the left-hand side and Saravia is pushed to the ground, and that'll be a free kick to Valencia. Almada, Thiago Almada, adjudged to have committed the foul there, and now Valencia will come forward from their defence once again. The ball into Ramazani on the halfway line, passes back to Javi Guerra. Once again back to Javi Guerra. Javi Guerra this time plays the ball along the left-hand side, and he does pick out Ramazani down the left. He's going to try and cut back into the middle here. Cleared away for now, but only just outside the box. And here is Luis Rioja, just on the right-hand side. Luis Rioja driving himself forward. Rioja plays the ball backwards to Tarrega. Tarrega into Javi Guerra. Javi Guerra back to Tarrega this time round. Cesar Tarrega to Pepe Lu. Valencia pushed back a little bit into their own half there, but now they play the ball into Laji Ramazani. Sadiq will try and chase this one down, but a little bit too much on the pass, and it goes straight through to the Argentine goalkeeper Juan Musso, who plays the ball to Robin Lenormand. Atleti really have been unable to get out of their own half in these opening stages of the game, and this time they give the ball away cheaply. Luis Rioja will dribble this towards the box. Luis Rioja still going, tries to cut it inside to Sadiq, can't quite pick him out with the pass there. It's intercepted well, and Atleti will try and break forward here on a quick counter-attacking goal as Obed Vargas releases the ball on the right-hand side. Vargas still with the ball here, dribbles towards the halfway line and now passes to Molina on his right-hand side. Molina back into Vargas. Obed Vargas this time goes to his left-hand side where Longlet picks up the ball and then passes to Almada, who's dropped back in. Almada will play the ball long in the direction of the goal. It's headed away by Pepe Lu towards Sadiq, who tries to hold up play. He's brought down on the halfway line, but no foul. Atleti now have the opportunity to get themselves forward here, but they cannot get past Saravia, who's able to pass the ball back to his goalkeeper. But now we're just starting to see Atleti come into life in this game, as here is another opportunity to Atleti trying to get themselves forward on that left-hand side through the run of Javi Morcillo. But Morcillo not quite able to find anybody he was looking there for, and Valencia win the throw in their attacking half. What a story it could be for Rayane Balai today. 21 years old, brought up from Atleti B. Could he be a difference maker on his debut in this campaign? Rioja passes the ball back to Tarrega, now into Guido Rodriguez. This time to Saravia. Saravia to Rioja. Back to Saravia. On the halfway line and now into Pepe Lu. Here's Javi Guerra. Plays the ball backwards once again as Valencia just being pushed back a little bit here. Saravia now. This time he'll try and dribble forward on the right-hand side. Passes to Luis Rioja. Back to Saravia. Saravia dribbles back under a little bit of pressure from Almada there and passes to his goalkeeper, Stol Dmitrievski, the North Macedonian keeper. Pepe Lu now. Pepe Lu dribbling forward. Passes to his left to Gaia. Valencia getting themselves slowly again to the halfway line. Javi Guerra passes the ball to the back and now on to the left to Jose Gaia. This time back into Tarrega. Tarrega tries to put the ball long early on the right hand side. Far too much though on that as he tried to pick out Luis Rioja. with the pass, but it goes straight out for a throw to Atletico Madrid. And they'll pass the ball all the way back to goalkeeper Juan Musso. Juan Musso to Javier Boñar. Boñar now to Molina. And the pass just a little bit too fast there for Naul Molina. And Valencia win themselves a throw. And they take the throw back towards their defenders. Now they dribble the ball towards the halfway line. Sarabia forward on the right-hand side here. Sarabia passing the ball back to Javi Garcia. Garcia back to Tarrega. Tarrega now, this time back to Sarabia on the right-hand side. And now into Javi Garcia, who's dropping back quite a lot into that defensive midfield position on the 10-minute mark. Once again to Javi Guerra. Javi Guerra plays the ball long and is going to try and be chased down here by Sarabia, who's making a run forward. But he just can't quite get past the experience of Clement Lenglet, and Lenglet puts it out for a throw deep into that attacking area for Los Che to take. They continue to dominate Valencia with 68% possession, I should say, in this first part of the game. No shots by either team thus far. As Obed Vargas places the ball backwards to Lenglet. Lenglet clears up towards her. That's well intercepted. However, it's picked up on the loose ball by Almada. Almada now releases Javier Boñar on the pass. Will try and get forward. Javier Boñar gets forward on the right and then passes back to Thiago Almada. Atleti now inside the half. They're seeking to attack. Will they be able to seek out opportunities here? Lenglet dribbles forward. Still going here, Lenglet had Julio Diaz on the right. He decided to pass into the centre, but that's intercepted and blocked away. Umar Sadiq will try and chase down the long ball. Sadiq's ball goes back to Javi Guerra. Javi Guerra fighting for it against Lenglet. They try and get the ball forward on the right-hand side, looking for the oncoming run of Luis Rioja. Tiny bit too much on that pass, though, from Guido Rodriguez. And can't quite be chased down by Rioja, but again, still you can see Valencia trying here with his long balls forward, particularly looking for those runs down the right-hand side. In the meantime, there's a bit of a coming together there between Robin Lenormand and Omar Sadiq, who is now down. Just receiving a little bit of treatment here. The physicians currently on, keeping an eye. Meanwhile, Hugo Duro, top scorer, with 9 La Liga goals this campaign, warms himself up on the touchline just in case. So he drinks some water and is now back up on his feet, the big man. He proving to be a crucial player for Valencia this season. 29 years old, 3 goals, 2 assists to his name thus far. And it looks like Hugo Duro will be able to return to the bench for now, as Valencia take the ensuing throw. Here's Javier Boñar. He passes out to Naul Molina on his right. Now back into Boñar. Boñar to Lenglet. The ball played long on the right-hand side. This could be chased down here. An opportunity for Atleti to put the ball in a threatening way for the first time. And the shot is taken, but it's flashed. Well, and he may well have been offside there on the run as well. Flashed well above the crossbar. I think that would have had to have been looked at had it been on target. Now Molina is indeed adjudged to be offside there. So Stol Dimitrievski will take the free kick. "15 minutes or so having been played in this game, and we yet to see any meaningful opportunity for either side to get the ball in a threatening way, as Atleti now look to come out from the back. They cannot get past Luis Rioja, however, and Valencia, but that's given away badly there towards Obed Vargas. And now here's another opportunity for Atleti to get forward towards the box. Lovely little flip back. There comes the shot by Rodrigo Mendoza, and that's the first save that Stol Dimitrievski has had to make in this game. A lovely little cutback to Rodrigo Mendoza. And Mendoza found himself in an ideal position after the cutback from Naum Molina to take on the shot, but Stol Dmitrievski made himself big and was able to make the first save of the game. So we have now had a shot on target, and now Almada dribbles the ball forward towards the box. Almada still going here. That's a lovely ball on the left-hand side in across the face of goal. And again, Atleti are starting to arrive here in this game as Julio Diaz cuts back from the left-hand side, and he does well there, Diaz, to put the ball across, and I think Stol Dmitrievski managed to get something on it, and it will be the first corner. No, it won't. There wasn't anything on it from Dmitrievski. It is confirmed as a goalkeeper. That's given away. Shot taken from distance. This time, Stol Dmitrievski has to give away the corner as Naum Molina, the goal kick, is given away, and Molina seizes on the opportunity, forces the save to his left, and this time it will be a corner. And all of a sudden, Atleti are starting to look dangerous. They couldn't get out of their half for the first 10 minutes of the game, but now they are starting to look dangerous. The corner comes in, it's going towards the back post, picked up by Julio Diaz. Opportunity to take the shot from the middle. Obed Vargas unable to get any purchase of that, and it goes out towards the halfway line. But now Valencia, Atletico will try and come again. A huge shot from just inside the half, and it ricochets into the post. Molina once again trying the spectacular. Goodness me, looked far too opportunistic from where Naum Molina was taking the shot on, but he makes a huge effort, and I'll tell you what, if that had gone in, he would be writing to Diego Simeone saying, I should be starting in Tuesday's game in the Champions League. Naum Molina, what a shot that was from the 28-year-old. Has 9 goals in total for Atleti, and that was closer than Valencia would like to have been. Number 10, the right back, nearly making it into double figures there. So signs for Valencia that they need to be careful here. 35 yards, I'm seeing that shot was there from Naum Molina. And now Ramazani, he comes forward onto the left-hand side, passing the ball nicely to Rioja. Rioja puts the ball across the face, looking for Sadiq. It's headed away right now by Javier Bonjar. And now Atleti, a chance to get forward again. Nice ball played into the feet here for Atleti to have a run. Mendoza still going here. He's doing really well here, Mendoza. Lovely ball forward to Almada. Almada just on the left-hand side of the box. Almada puts the ball in towards the centre. And Stol Dmitrievski is just about there to be able to gather, as Rodrigo Mendoza does really well there to put the ball across. And if Stol Dmitrievski had not have got there, then Balade may well have been on for his first ever goal. But now Javiguera getting forward on the right hand side. Javiguera puts the ball in towards the centre. Sadiq tries to barge into Lenormand to get hold of it. Atleti, however, come out on top, and now Rodrigo Mendoza will try and take the ball forward. He passes out onto his left hand side towards Julio Diaz. Julio Diaz chest down and then plays back in towards the centre. Obed Vargas to Lenormand. And now they clear towards the centre, looking for Almada to try and head it down. Almada's head goes back onto the right-hand side to Molina. And now an opportunity to put the ball in for Molina. Managed to win the throw there as well in their attacking half, Atleti. These last 10 minutes or so, Atleti have really started to come alive in this game. They started, Valencia still yet to have a shot at all of any note. They've started to really assert themselves here. Longlet passes the ball back to Javier Murcio. Murcio once again on the halfway line into Longlet. Longlet Just passes the ball gently in front of him to Almada, who's dropped right away back towards the halfway line here. And Almada once again passes back to Lenglet. Lenglet back to Lenormand. Lenormand over on the right-hand side. Molina will try and chase this one down. Can't quite get hold of it, and Valencia are able to win themselves a throw. That is Javier Bonjar, excuse me. Win themselves a throw on the left-hand side. Just getting a chance to have a look at that replay. 35 yards, that shot from Naul Molina. It really was a fantastic effort on target. Crashing into the post. Wouldn't that have been a spectacular way? They're a team, after the heroics in the first Champions League semi-final, in what is being dubbed as a generational game, people were a little bit more sceptical that Arsenal would bring such interest in their fixture against Atleti on Wednesday. And the game perhaps didn't do too much to quieten down those sceptical opinions, but if Atleti can show that they are capable of hitting and scoring like that, then it would certainly change some of the reputation going into that game. As Sarabia plays the ball here to Luis Rioja. Rioja back to Sarabia. Sarabia back towards Tarrega. Tarrega now to Pepelu. Pepelu back to his goalkeeper, who's been forced already into a couple of big saves so far this game. They try to head towards Rioja on the centre. Rioja heads down and it goes out for a throw to Atleti here. These young men of Atleti look to assert themselves in front of Diego Simeone. Meanwhile, Largi Ramassani just caught there and is now down with the coming together between him and Javi Murcio. As Valencia dribble the ball towards the halfway line, Javi Guerra, picks it up on the halfway. Javi Guerra to Sarabia. Now to Ramassani in the centre, but Ramassani can't quite get past Julio Diaz, and Julio Diaz is able to pass the ball back towards his goalkeeper. And now Lenglet picks out Julio Diaz with that pass in towards the centre here. Lovely little give and go to allow Julio Diaz to make the run down the left. But Tarrega is able to get there before Julio Diaz can complete his run, and Cesar Tarrega puts it out for a throw to Atleti. Nice little give and go, but on the throw, Atleti go all the way back to Juan Musso. Musso in orange. Just places the ball under his feet while he considers the options here. And now plays out on to his left-hand side to Lenglet, this time in towards Obed Vargas. Vargas will try and run the ball forwards. Vargas looks to pass towards Julio Diaz down the left-hand channel, but just a little bit too much on that pass from Obed Vargas. And out it goes for a throw once again for Valencia, who are now the team somewhat struggling to get out of their own half. They played a few of those long balls forward, looking for the likes of Sadiq, but they haven't been able to get much joy so far as Javi Guerra runs the ball forward on the right, with a lovely pass on the right-hand side down the channel to Rioja. Rioja does well there to keep it in. Luis Rioja drives the ball towards the byline and then turns the ball back to Guerra. Guerra puts the ball in towards the far post towards Sadiq a little bit too much as Ugrinich arrives to try and keep the ball in play, and they had already gone out for a goal kick. They do have those moments there, Valencia, where they get forward on the break. Javi Guerra doing really well to put the ball forward. He also has a birthday coming up on the 13th of May. So a few soon-to-be birthday boys on the pitch today. As Musa's goal kick is played short, but given away there. That's a mistake there by Musa. Ball put into the centre to Ramassani. Ramassani trying to take the shot. He can't get past the bodies in front of him. Ramassani still trying to do something on the edge of the area, but it's just about cleared right now by Javier Bonjar. Bonjar to Molina. Now Molina is tackled. Tried to pick up a second ball there, Molina couldn't quite get hold of it, and Valencia in the attacking half now. Out on the right-hand side to Rioja. Rioja here on the near side, cuts inside, passes to Ramassani. Ramassani tries to let it run to Sadiq, but it's dealt with by Lenormand, who puts it straight out for a throw. Ugrinich looking a little bit ginger there. the 27-year-old Swiss. As Valencia's throw is headed back to Pepelu. Guerra holds it up on the halfway line. Guerra forced right back towards the defence here and then passes to Tarrega. Tarrega now to Pepelu. Pepelu to Guido Rodriguez. Give and go there in the midfield, but then forced again and go back to the defenders. Pepelu will dribble forward. Gaia on the left-hand side. Gaia in towards Ugrinic here. Ugrinic once again linking up there with Omar Sadiq. Now back to Tarrega. Sarabia has the ball on the halfway line, just on the right-hand side, into Luis Rioja. Rioja, lovely ball into the middle there to Javi Guerra. Javi Guerra then releases Rioja down the right. Guerra, Rioja into the box. Rioja puts the ball across towards the far post. Too much on it for Sadiq, but a chance to take a shot from just outside the area. But the shot by Ugrinic can only be deflected straight into bodies. And there's going to be an appeal for a handball there, actually, which is going to need to be looked at. Play is continuing in the meantime as Ugrinic just took a shot. It came into multiple bodies. I think it's all been cleared now. As Valencia trying to get the ball forward once again. Ugrinic here on the left-hand side fighting for it. He brings down Naul Molina. It's Gaia, Gaia who brings down Naul Molina. And that'll be free kick Atletico. Just checking this one again. It's Javi Morcillo, I think, who was accused of the handball there, but that has all now been cleared. So the scoreline remains 0-0. Valencia yet to have a shot on target so far this game as Molina on the right here. Plays back to Javier Boñar. Now to Juan Musso. Musso passes left to Longlet. Longlet looks to clear into the middle, but that's headed away by the oncoming Tarrega. Sadiq will try and hold up play here. Nice little turn, but there's an offside flag as Rodriguez tried to pick up the pass there from Omar Sadiq, who was adjudged already to have run offside, the Nigerian. As Atleti, they get going here on the right-hand side. Nice pass in towards Rodrigo Mendoza. Mendoza plays the ball out on the left, and he puts far too much on that pass. He was looking for the run of Julio Diaz. Too much on it, and Valencia have the pass. They try to get the ball out, but now they give it away here dangerously as Belaid holds up play and then passes out towards his right-hand side. This time Atletico back in towards the centre to Lenormand. Now to Longlet. Longlet to Julio Diaz. Diaz in towards the centre here with Obed Vargas. Now Belaid. Back to Julio Diaz, who'll continue to run on the left. He passes back inside to Almada. Almada back to Julio Diaz as Atleti getting closer and closer here to the box. Lovely little turn there by Belaid. Tried to turn on his heel, but he's beaten to it. And here's an opportunity for Valencia on a quick break as Sadiq will try and chase this one down. But some solid defending there from Longlet, who gets in his way and passes the ball back to his keeper. Well, I said solid defending. I think actually he's been adjudged to have fouled Omar Sadiq. Referee Jose Muñera has the yellow card in his hand. In fact, the yellow card is going to Thiago Almada. It's an earlier foul, it must be. The referee previously played advantage for a foul against Sarabia, and so Thiago Almada finds himself in the book as a result. Valencia with the ensuing free kick. It's given away, but Ramazani comes back in to pick up a loose ball. He has to run it back all the way to the halfway line under a lot of pressure here. Rodrigo Mendoza managed to get hold of the ball. Referee's whistle, though, already been blown. This time, Gaia makes the run down the left-hand side into Javi Guerra. Guerra plays back to Sarabia. Sarabia has the ball just on that right-hand side of the defence and then passes the ball back into the centre, looking for Tarrega. It's a little bit behind Tarrega, but Tarrega managed to get hold of it and then pass to Pepelu. Pepelu takes the ball up towards the halfway line. Now takes the ball on the right-hand side to Rioja. Rioja heads forward, but straight out of play, just a little too high the pass. He gets an applause there. Pepelu for the pass from towards Rioja, but too much on it for Rioja to be able to keep it in play. And now Atleti take the throw, go back to Juan Musso. Musso to Lenormand. And once again, back to Javier Musso. 30 minutes on the clock now. Atleti, the only team really to have shown any signs of looking to score. Here's Obed Vargas. Vargas plays the ball back to Longlet. Longlet into Julio Diaz on the left. Julio Diaz with a nice little ball down the channel to Almada. Almada cuts back inside and then clears the ball out on the right-hand side, looking for the oncoming run of Molina. Headed away, though, by Jose Gaya. And now Urgrinic passing the ball forward to Sadiq on the left-hand side. Sadiq using his height and power to hold up play and then passes back to Javi Guerra. Guerra continues to dribble forwards right through the centre here. Now passes to Rioja on the right. Rioja continues to go. Rioja looks for his options, passes the ball into Ramazani in the centre. Ramazani trying to work his way through. Has to go back to Rioja here. Rioja, this time he passes the ball towards the back post, looking for Sadiq. But too much on it. And Sadiq unable to get hold of that one from Rioja. And it goes behind harmlessly for a goal kick to Atletico de Madrid. Still yet to register a shot on target. Carlos Coveran's Valencia. Goal kick is going to be taken by Longlet. And Longlet, don't quite understand that tactic myself. Longlet then just takes the kick, straight passes to Musso. Musso this time does clear onto the right-hand side to the halfway line. Gaya able to get him away of that. There's already an offside, in fact, given against Rodrigo Mendoza. So Valencia will take the free kick. Tarrega has the ball just inside the defensive half, right in the centre. Now he passes to Sarabia as they slowly make their way towards the attacking half. Sarabia links up with Ramazani and then they go all the way back to Stol Dimitrievski. Stol takes the ball out to the edge of his area and a nice pass into the centre. Sadiq holds up play, twists round really well there, Omar Sadiq, to get past Lenormand. And now onto the left-hand side to Gaya. Gaya will continue to dribble up on the left-hand side. He passes through to Urgrinic. Urgrinic onto the left-hand side in the edge of the box here. Into the box now. Urgrinic transfers the ball in towards the centre. And it is a nice attempt there by Filip Urgrinic, who tried to just fire it in towards the near post. It's a lovely ball released as well by Jose Gaya. I think he's going to be offside, actually, Filip Urgrinic. It must be offside there. Looked like he'd won Valencia their first corner as his shot goes straight into the feet of Musso and then behind for what would have been a corner, but the offside flag had indeed gone up against Filip Urgrinic. And he's a fair bit too early there, Filip Urgrinic, with his run. The 27-year-old Swiss, yet to score this season, does have 3 assists to his name. In fact, yet to score for Valencia, having joined up at the start of this campaign from the young boys. And now Julio Diaz will come forward here on the left-hand side. Luis Rioja able to get in his way, though. And then pass the ball back to Pepe Lu, just to take the sting out of that nice attempt to get forward on the left there from Atleti. Back to Tarrega here. Tarrega under a little bit of pressure. Passes the ball to pick out Rioja nicely. Rioja tries to flick to Ramazani, but he gives that one straight back to Atleti. As here, Rodrigo Mendoza dribbles forward and then a lovely little pass off there on his right-hand side to Obed Vargas. Atleti still looking for options here. In towards Murcio. This time, a lovely ball down the right-hand channel. Lots of Valencian bodies in the way. And it goes behind for a corner. Good work there by the young Atletico players, as they continue to show signs of intent in this second phase of the first half, as Guido Rodriguez is forced to put it behind for a corner. Now in comes their second corner, headed on from a near foe, out towards Diaz. Shot trying to come in, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. It's Lenormand, actually, who gets hold of that. Lenormand brings it down, takes it on his right foot, and it goes a long way over the top of the crossbar there from Lenormand. And the Atleti fans who look on from high above in the Mestalla unable to celebrate that one with 10 minutes remaining on the clock of this first half. We've got a couple of stops so far as Stolden Mitrieski tries to find Sadiq. He heads down. Sadiq once again fighting for the ball, but he's unable to maintain possession there as Obed Vargas captures possession once again in the attacking half. He passes back to Longlet. Longlet in towards Julio Diaz. Diaz passes to Vargas in the middle. Vargas looks to pass on the right-hand side to Mendoza. Lovely little cut inside here towards Belaid. And Atleti win themselves a throw. Belaid comes over to take it himself. An opportunity for the fashionable long ball here for Atleti to do something which could pose problems here for the Valencian defence. Headed away at the near post, however, by Pepe Lu. Only out towards Almada. Ball once again will come in towards the centre. Headed on! And out behind comfortably for a goal kick. It's another sight of goal for Atleti, as Ryan Balaid is the man to head it towards goal. He gets hold of it just about, but he can't direct his head on target. And the Algerian, for a moment, felt he might have had his first ever goal for Diego Simeone's side. Not to be on this occasion, as the goal kick comes through into the centre. Guido Rodriguez reaches it on the halfway line and then passes backwards. Now back into Rodriguez on the halfway line under a lot of pressure. Has to pass back to Tarrega. Tarrega to Sarabia. Sarabia, long ball forward on the right-hand side. He's going to try and find, I'm not sure who he was looking for, whether that was for Ramazani or for Rioja, but either way, far too much on that, and he'll go straight to Juan Musso. And Musso is able to pass on the right-hand side. And now, once again, an opportunity here for Rodrigo Mendoza to try and break forward on the right-hand side. Can't keep the ball in. Oh, he does win the throw there, Rodrigo Mendoza. And now, Mendoza once again able to release on the right-hand side, and it'll be another corner here to Atletico Madrid. Molina takes the ball with his hands and just passes it for the corner to be taken. Another opportunity here for Valencia. Almada gets himself ready to take the corner on the far side. In comes the ball towards the middle. It headed in through to the centre. Valencia able to clear for now, but Julio Diaz picking up the headed ball forward. Here comes Julio Diaz once again. Cuts back inside. Diaz still going. Cleared away though by Pepe Lu in towards Rioja. Rioja trying to get his teammate to go forward. He passes the ball left towards Ronald Ugrinic. Ugrinic brings it down. Now in toward Ramazani on the edge of the box. Ramazani will take the shot. Oh, and it's into the foot of the post. The shot by Laji Ramazani. And Valencia do now have a shot on target, and Ramazani almost able to break the deadlock there. Looking for his 8th goal of the campaign. Out to Javi Guerra on the edge of the box. Guerra takes the shot, and that one does fly a fair way over the crossbar from the 22-year-old Spaniard. And now perhaps can Valencia try and come alive again in the final stages of this first half. We've just got over 5 minutes of the first half. 7 or so on the clock. There have been a couple of stoppages, but that was Valencia's best opportunity so far. Wouldn't be surprised if we do see the introduction of Hugo Duro, the man from the Real Madrid Academy, in the second half at some point for Carlos Corberán, looking for attacking options. So far Sadiq has done well at holding up play, but he's looked a little bit frustrated at times. Here's Rioja now on the near side. Rioja plays the ball, looking to try and release a quick run of Javi Guerra through the middle, but too heavy to pass, and that'll go behind for a goal kick on the 40-minute mark. And Valencia fans just a little bit subdued at the moment. Haven't really seen their team do enough, and just a little bit too slow, I think it would be fair to say. Atleti just looking a lot more dangerous when they have the ball, despite the fact that it took them about 10 minutes of the game to see any of the ball whatsoever. But since those 10 minutes elapsed, they've been by far the most dangerous team in this first half. As Urinic will try and get himself twisting and turning the way through, but it's well intercepted there by Bonyar. And now Atleti can come through the centre here. Here's Obed Vargas, plays the ball onto the right to Rodrigo Mendoza. Mendoza plays back to Molina. Now back to Lenormand in the centre of defence. Lenormand over to Longlet. Longlet into Diaz. Diaz plays the ball nicely through the middle here, and there's a lovely give and go to release Mendoza. Mendoza coming down here through the left-hand side. Plays the ball along the right-hand side. It's brought down very nicely in towards the middle to Belaid. Just couldn't quite pick up the pass from Javier Bonyar. And it goes through harmlessly to Stol Dimitrievski, but he was in a good position there, Ryan Belaid, who's so keen to try and get his first goal of the campaign, his first goal for Atleti. Not to be on that occasion, but do not write him off, the 21-year-old. Ball goes long to Sadiq. Sadiq tries to hold up, but Atleti do well to win back possession there. Vargas in the middle. Vargas fighting for it. Does well there, Vargas, to win back possession. Now another chance. Looking for Almada. Almada is through here. Almada, will he take off a shot? Cuts back in towards the centre. But there's nobody there to get hold of Almada's cutback, but it's not out of play just yet. Atleti with another chance on the right-hand side. This time the ball comes in, but it's headed away comfortably by Pepe Lu, but only out towards Murcio. Murcio, though, can't quite bring the ball under his spell, and now Valencia will try. Oh, but it's given away. I was going to say we're trying to break on the counter trap, but it's given away straight to Almada. Almada in towards the centre here. He's tried to find Belaid, but Belaid's touch is just a tiny bit heavy, and the ball goes back to Stol Dimitrievski. Valencia doing what they can to make sure they don't go in a goal down, because if there is to be a goal, you've got to say it's those playing in blue today that you think are going to get it, Atleti. And now Longlet dribbles the ball forward. He passes to Almada, who's forward on the left-hand side. Almada in towards Rodrigo Mendoza. Mendoza goes back to Lenormand. Lenormand then passes the ball to Molina. Now to Longlet right on the centre line here. Atleti really would love to go in a goal ahead. Longlet passes this time to Obed Vargas. And now Vargas continues his run through the centre. That's a lovely run from Vargas. He tries to put the ball forward. It's going to be chased down here. And now an opportunity for the shot to come in. And surely, is that a penalty? As Javier Bonyar goes down in the box. Oh, no, I think there's an offside prior to that. In fact, I think there Belaid is probably offside in the build-up. Yes, he is offside. Ryan Belaid. There were appeals for a penalty when Javier Bonyar went down in the box, but it's already the offside given against Belaid. So Valencia will be able to take the free kick. They go along in the direction of Sadiq. Now back to Sadiq here. Sadiq twists his way, working towards the box, then passes to Rioja. Rioja in towards Guerra. Guerra racing forward here. Guerra still going. Passes back to Guido Rodriguez. Rodriguez now to Ramazani, who's come forward on the left-hand side. Ramazani flicks the ball over top to Rioja and straight out for a throw. And that little moment of attacking potential for Valencia doesn't bear fruition. Ramazani still with the closest attempt on target so far. As Atleti trying to get the ball out of their own half now. Almada cuts the ball across to the right-hand side for Javier Bonyar. Bonyar does well. to bring that down with his right-hand foot, then runs the ball a little bit further forward to the halfway line. This time, nice cut towards Vargas in the centre. Trying to go through to the left, but it's nice little ball to release here. Julio Diaz on the left. Julio Diaz comes towards the box, then plays the ball nicely into the centre, but still just about managed to keep up possession here. Molina now on towards the right. Atleti trying to come into the centre. Opportunity here for Mendoza. Mendoza is brought down, but Murcia will continue the run. Murcia now is pushed to the ground, and that will be a free kick to Atleti in potentially a dangerous position here for a shot on target. I'm not sure what foul it is that's being blown, because the first man pushed down was Rodrigo Mendoza, and then Javier Murcia was also brought down, and it looks like from the position that the free kick has been given by Jose Muñera, that the free kick has been given for the foul against Javi Murcia, who's making his 4th appearance of the campaign. Again, one of his players that Diego Simeone is having to turn to with injuries and also the need for rotation. It is Naum Molina who had that stunning shot. Well, he's had 2 shots from distance so far this game, but the second one from 35 yards out was mighty impressive. We are now in the final minute of the added minute on. Molina's shot, though, this time, after I teed him up, goes straight into the wall, but a chance here for Almada on the left to try and pick up the ball, but it's defended very well there by Valencia, and that will surely be the end of the first half. The whistle is blown, but it's not for half time. No, I'm not sure what Muñoz, I think he was looking for an appeal for a handball there. This time he does indicate to his watch the referee, and that will be the end of proceedings for the first half. A half in which Valencia dominated for the first 10 minutes or so, but since then it really has been Atleti in ascendancy. They've had 10 shots, 2 of those have been on target. Valencia just for 1 shot on target, ricocheting into the bottom of the post. The effort by Largi Ramasani, and the scoreline remains equal at the 45-minute mark. It's Valencia 0, Atleti 0. We'll be back in 15 minutes or so to bring you all the events from the second half. Don't go away. Hello, good afternoon once again, and welcome back to the Mesa Taller in Valencia, where we are bringing you all the action from this fixture of La Liga round 34. It's Valencia taking on Atletico Madrid. And before we tell you the story of this game, just to remind you that earlier today, Villarreal thrashed Levante 5-1, thereby increasing the gap to what would now be 7 points as things currently stand between third place Villarreal and fourth place Atletico de Madrid. Later on today, we have Deportivo Alaves taking on Athletic Club of Bilbao, and Osasuna will be hosting Barcelona later on this evening. So, coming back to where we are here on the east coast of Spain, well, it's been a game mostly dominated by Atletico, even though they've had a less of a ball with just 49% possession compared to 51% for Valencia. But their XG tells you the story. They have an XG of 1.10, and they've come close a couple of times with a quite tremendous pile driver from Raúl Molina, ricocheting off Stol Dimitrievski's crossbar from 35 yards out. They've had 11 shots, 2 of which have been on target, and crucially they've taken 16 touches in the opposition box. That's compared to just 6 for Valencia. They did come close on one occasion with Largi Ramasani's attempt hitting the bottom of the post, but apart from that they really have struggled. They've tried to get the ball forward. They've put a few passes looking for the runs of the likes of Ugrinic or Rioja down the wing, or trying to find the big man Omar Sadiq holding up play. But they haven't quite found the accuracy on those passes. A lot of them coming in just a little bit too heavily weighted, meaning that they've usually gone behind or they've been dealt with by the Atleti defensive. Players are now back out on the pitch. It's a cloudy but warm day in the opening month of May here in Valencia. Nearly at capacity. There's just under 50,000 that fit into this stadium. We've got about 46,000 in attendance today, hoping to see a goal in the second half of the game. I can't see any changes so far. So it looks like Valencia will continue with the 4-4-2 of Dimitrievski at the back, Gaia, Pepe Luta, Rega and Sarabia at the back four. In front of them, Ugrinic, Rodriguez, Guerra and Rioja, and Ramasani and Sadiq in front of those two. And it looks like Atleti will continue in what evolved into a 5-4-1. That's Julio Diaz, Lenglet, Robin Lenormand, Bonyar and Molina in front of Juan Musso. The four in midfield of Thiago Almada, Vargas, Javi Morcillo and Rodrigo Mendoza, and Rayane Belaid on just his second appearance for the club, looking to see if he could net his first ever goal. And there's a few players out there, for Atleti today who would love to score their first ever goal. Over Vargas, who's been doing well in midfield, is one of them. So is Javi Morcillo, and Javier Bonyar has the one goal to his name as well. So the opportunity for those in midfield or attack for Atleti, as we are now underway for the second half. This time Valencia going from right to left in their white and black kits, and Atleti playing in their away strip of the blue with the numbers in white on the back. Will be playing now from left to right as Atleti here once again getting the ball underway here, playing through into the middle. Goes back to Lenormand. And Lenormand plays over to the right-hand side to Molina. Now in towards Vargas in the middle. Mendoza now. Mendoza goes back to Javier Bonyar. This time, Mendoza tries to push the ball forward to the halfway line. It's held up nicely by Thiago Almada. Almada passes back there to Julio Diaz. And the ball comes through into the centre. This is a real opportunity for Belaid to change it out. Belaid, lovely first touch, but it's just a tiny bit too much on. The touch from Belaid allows for Stol Dimitrievski to get across and get it. And now here comes Ugrinic on the left-hand side for Valencia. Ugrinic passes back towards Guido Rodriguez. Guido Rodriguez into Tarrega. Tarrega now to Sarabia. Sarabia to Rioja. Into the centre to Guerra. Guerra this time back towards Tarrega. Tarrega to Rodriguez. Rodriguez to Guerra just in front of him. Guerra dribbles the ball a little bit forward, then stops to consider his options, then turns backwards, passes once again to Tarrega. Tarrega comes forward slowly and now passes to Saravia. Guerra. Here's a chance for Rioja on the right-hand side to dribble the ball forward. Rioja looks to cut back inside now, doing well with Rioja, then passes to Rodriguez. Rodriguez just passes backwards though, and the sting of the attack goes as Tarrega picks up the ball just inside the attacking half. He passes to Pepe Lu. Pepe Lu goes left to Gaia. Gaia back to Pepe Lu. Pepe Lu back now to Tarrega. Tarrega this time looks forward on the right-hand side for Rioja. Rioja to Guerra. Guerra here passes to Jose Gaia. Jose Gaia back in to Javi Guerra. Javi Guerra now over on his right-hand side. This time Saravia passes to Luis Rioja. Rioja dribbles forward. Valencia slowly getting forward here. Lovely little give and go there on the right-hand side. Do they manage to keep the ball in play, Valencia? Yes, they do. Comes out to the edge of the box to Rodriguez, who takes the shot and blasts it over the top of the crossbar. The 32-year-old Argentinian, joined up from West Ham in the winter transfer window, Guido Rodriguez. He does have 2 goals to his name thus far in the campaign for Valencia. But this one just goes out for a goal kick, which is taken through in towards the centre, trying to find an oncoming runner. Beleda. It goes all the way back to Stol Dimitrievski. Dimitrievski now. Valencia play the ball forward into the middle to Sadiq. Sadiq turns the ball round Lenormand and is then brought down just inside the attacking half. He's hauled back up to his feet by Lenormand. Sadiq gestures to the referee, but that would have been worthy of a yellow card. Jose Munera does not appear to be in agreement with him, but they will take the free kick here. The bats of Valencia out to Gaia on the left-hand side. Gaia cuts inside, then passes backwards towards Tarrega. Tarrega now to Rioja. Rioja tries to find a route through. He cannot, so has to pass back to Saravia. Saravia goes back to Tarrega, and Valencia will have another go at building the attack here. Pepe Lu dribbles in the direction of the halfway line, then passes forward to Jose Gaia. Gaia decides to go back to him. Not really with too much sting when they have the ball at the moment, Valencia. I think Atleti will be quite happy as things currently are. This time to Ramassani. Ramassani again passes back to Pepe Lu. Pepe Lu this time passes long on the right-hand side toward Rioja, but that's headed away comfortably by Julio Diaz. And Julio Diaz's head allows Rodrigo Mendoza a chance to run the ball forward. Mendoza, that's a lovely... Oh, I thought it was lovely, but there's a bit too much on it as he tries to find the run of Belade. Valencia now will try and clear. Oh, that's a nice ball through to Ramassani. Ramassani beats Julio Diaz to get hold of this ball. Ramassani tries to put the ball into the centre, but it's just in towards Lenormand. But Lenormand's clearance is intercepted by Guido Rodriguez. Guido Rodriguez into Saravia. Valencia not quite able to link up as Guido Rodriguez comes over and earns a throw to Valencia. This time, Guerra with the ball on the half to Tarrega. Tarrega over to Gaia. Gaia puts the ball in towards the centre. Nice little twist and turn. Sadiq knocks it forward to Gaia, but he's unable to make his way past now Molina, who comes over to cover well there, Molina. And this time, let's get themselves ready for the throw. Javier Bonjar with the throw here on the near side. Bonjar passes through into the middle. And now here is Molina once again. This time the ball given away though, and Valencia take the ball back onto the halfway line where Tarrega passes the ball back to his goalkeeper. Now Pepe Lu linking up with Tarrega. And Tarrega once again back to the goalkeeper. As they clear through into the centre. Ramassani picks up the ball, tries to pass to Sadiq, who gives it straight back to him, but just a little bit ahead of a run. And that'll be a throw for Valencia to take. Pepe Lu to Tarrega. Tarrega dribbles forward. Now passes to Pepe Lu, just a little bit in front of him on the left. Now into Gaia. Gaia across through into the middle. That's nicely held up towards the direction of Ramassani. And then there's a foul. That's looks like a bit of a nasty one there by Robin Lenormand, who will be straight in the book for it. It's Guido Rodriguez who he catches there. Excuse me, it's Mendoza who goes straight into the book for it. Rodrigo Mendoza, the 21-year-old. And he catches Guido Rodriguez there, who's running through. Just sort of catches him actually with his arm rather than his leg, which is what it originally looked like. Absolute correct decision, Mo, of the referee to put Rodrigo Mendoza's name straight into his book. That's good. Guido Rodriguez is now back up on his feet. Meanwhile, the Valencian subs are warming up. You have to think both managers may be looking at their bench at some point around the 60-minute mark or so to try and get something going into this game. Rodriguez passes the ball along the centre here to Guerra. This time Sarabia into Sadiq. Sadiq uses his strength to hold up play, but then tries to release Rioja. Can't pick him up with the pass. And that will be a foul there given away by Javi Guerra. And once again, Atleti here using the free kick to get their way. Whenever they do get forward, Atleti, they do just look that much more dangerous than Valencia have been doing. So here's Javi Morcillo. Morcillo passes to Longlet. Longlet to Bonyar. And now all the way back to Musso with the oncoming Ramassani. Clears the ball towards the halfway line. It's held up there on the halfway line. As Sarabia fights for it on the right-hand side. And he goes for a throw to Atleti. Just a little sort of neither side really doing anything that massively threatens in these opening stages of the second half. Once again, you do feel if there is to be a goal in this, it would probably go the way of Atletico, especially bearing in mind the rich of resources that Diego Simeone does have on his bench, should he choose to draw upon his Champions League players. As Murcio tries to pass to Almada, trying to break forward on the left-hand side, doesn't pick him out with that pass, and he'll go out for a throw to Valencia. There's a number of attacking options. Lookman, Griezmann, it's the two big names perhaps on the bench. The few are not in the matchday squad today. Llorente, Soloff, Julian Alvarez, Giuliano Simeone are not available, but there are the likes of Lookman and Griezmann, who you would think, if they really do want to search for that goal, would be very likely candidates to bring on for Diego Simeone this afternoon in what is now turning out to be a sunny afternoon here in Valencia. Nice ball towards the right-hand side, looking for Bonyar. Headed out towards Murcillo. And now to Lenormand. Lenormand plays the ball in towards the centre, where Rodrigo Mendoza passes to Vargas. Vargas, lovely ball down the right-hand side for Bonyar to run onto it. Bonyar doesn't manage to get the pass in, but he does win the corner as Jose Gaia, the 30-year-old, uses his experience to get across, take no risk and put it behind for the first corner of the second half. They have looked dangerous from these corners. Valencia yet to have a corner, of course, in this game. But they have looked dangerous from the set-piece opportunities. Atleti. In comes the corner towards the far post. Stol Dimitrievski gets over it, heads it away, and then Ramassani clears out towards the centre. And Valencia here look for a quick break on the counter-attack. Here comes
Here comes Rioja on the left. Rioja racing towards the box. Has to run it towards the byline. He's up against multiple bodies from Luis Diaz and Longlet. A little bit solo there as well, as Rioja had to run across, but he does win the throw. No, he doesn't win the throw. In fact, Ugrinic had the ball in his hand, but he doesn't win the throw. It does look like substitutes are now coming on for Valencia. Corberan will be the first manager to roll the dice here, it appears. As Longlet passes the ball on the left-hand side, looking for the run here of Almada, but instead they turn and pass back round to Bonyar. Now over to Naul Molina. Molina weighs up his option, then puts the ball in towards Beleda in the centre. Now here's an opportunity for Atleti. Will we be able to take the shot on? Vargas trying. And he shows his tenacity there in midfield, Vargas. And he does well to win the corner as well in the process. It's a nice ball from Molina. Mendoza picks it up and then flicks it back to Obed Vargas. Vargas takes the shot. There's a deflection on the way through, and that deflection means that it will be a corner. Gaia, I think, was once again the man who puts it behind for the corner. And now a few changes are underway, but I think the corner is going to happen before. In towards the centre, Lenormand heads, and it's just out. And behind for a goal kick. Nice ball in through from the corner. Lenormand is the first to reach it. Can't quite direct his header though on target. The man previously of Real Sociedad, he joined up in the summer of 2024 for a fee in the region of 30 million euros. And now it will be two changes for Valencia. Hugo Duro is one who is coming off. He replaces Ugrinic, who I don't think has had the best of games today. Diego Lopez also makes his way on. It's another forward option. So I guess it's actually going to be Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez will take the place of Rioja, from what I can see. Rioja goes off, Diego Lopez comes on. Ugrinic goes off, and top scorer Hugo Duro, 9 goals to his name, is on. So two changes from Corberan. Duro replacing Ugrinic, Lopez replacing Rioja. We'll have a look soon as to how those changes might be. Here's an opportunity for now, who picks up the ball on the right side in towards the centre. Oh, what a shot, what an opportunity. That was for Ryan Balaid, as Naul Molina puts a lovely ball in from the right hand side. Now it is quite fast, the ball from Molina on his right foot, and probably a little bit too much. But Belaid found himself unmarked there in the centre of the goal. Perhaps just a bit too hard. The cross from Naul Molina, who was still perhaps thinking of his 35-yard pile driver from earlier. And it goes out for a goal kick, which Longlet passes back all the way to his goalkeeper. We await to see, can these changes for Valencia bring about the effect that Corberan is looking for? Here is Largi Ramasani on the left-hand side. Ramasani loses out there, and now Atletico have a chance to get forward as Obed Vargas is brought down, but no foul, says the referee. I'm surprised by that. And here is Javi Guerra racing through in the centre. He misses out though to Longlet, and then Guerra himself is brought down, and that will be a yellow card given to Obed Vargas, the third Atleti player. I thought there was a foul earlier in the build-up, but that one is given, as Vargas is just a little bit late on the challenge. And that means the man who joined up this winter from the Seattle Sounders finds himself on a yellow card, and Valencia have the opportunity here to test Juan Musso, who so far, the soon-to-be 32-year-old, has had very little to do in this game. Javi Guerra looks to be the man getting ready to take this free kick. It's in a decent shooting position, but he doesn't choose. He chooses to play it down, through, in towards the centre for Duro. And Duro wins the corner as he picks up the ball towards the byline, tries to put it back into the centre, and it goes straight behind for a corner. And that's the first intervention we've seen of Hugo Duro. Born and raised in Madrid, he was at the Real Madrid Academy before then joining local rivals Getafe. But now he is hoping to score more goals for Valencia with 9 to his name so far this season. In towards the centre, headed away, and out behind immediately for a goal kick to Atleti. I think it's Jose Gaya who gets his head, and now we will be seeing some changes from Atleti Madrid. They're not the names that I was expecting to see, though. We will be seeing an introduction here to Ika Luque, who's going to be replacing Javi Murcia. And we're also going to be seeing Miguel Cubo coming on. Miguel Cubo will be replacing Belaid. And Luque will be replacing Javier Murcia. So 2 changes apiece now. Javi Murcia off. Ika Luque on. And Ryan Balai, no goal on debut for him. He is replaced by Miguel Cubo. The 18-year-old also making a debut appearance for Diego Simeone. So again, another chance to write in some history in today's fixture. Ryan Balai, first off, the 21-year-old, first offered the opportunity to do so. He wasn't able to take the opportunities presented to him, but will Miguel Cubo be able to do so? I wasn't necessarily predicting that change. I felt that maybe Diego Simeone might turn to some of his more experienced Champions League experts, but instead Miguel Cubo is given the opportunity, and Ika Luque, the other man there as well. As here is now Molina, tries to find the run of Cubo, but it's well cut out there. And here's Javier Guerra on the halfway line. Javier Guerra to Sarabia. Sarabia turns back round and passes to Javier Guerra. And now back to Tarrega. Tarrega to Pepe Lu. Pepe Lu. Plays the ball towards the defenders. Ika Luque, another man with very few appearances to name. This is his second appearance. The 20-year-old Spaniard. He's only ever really been on the bench as an unused substitute. But now a very big opportunity for the man wearing the 37 jersey today. A number of other young players Diego Simeone is turning to. With 25 minutes remaining on the clock, will the young legs be able to generate the change? Valencia win themselves a throw on their halfway. Passes back to Stolen Mitrioski. Has to clear under pressure, and he gives the ball right away there. There's a chance for a shot from a long way out, but it's straight into the gloves of Stolen Mitrioski, whose blushes would have been high there if he gave the ball away from the clearance. But again, Atleti give the ball away here. They have to be more diligent with the ball here. Now drive forward, there's a shot for, oh dear, that's not a good shot. Taken by Obed Vargas from well outside the box, and you can see he is hungry for the goal, Vargas, but he's not going to get it like that. So goal kick for Valencia. Chance for the subs. to find then positions on the field as Sarabia dribbles the ball out, and it'll be a throw to Atleti here. Votes are now open for man of the match. So far, I've not really seen any one player who's done that much to convince me they are a man of the match or player of the match worthy, but there's still plenty of time for that to change. As Mendoza here, lovely little flip. Oh, and that surely is a free kick just outside the edge of the box, and a yellow card. It's Miguel Cubo who is caught there on the corner of the box on the left-hand side. Tarrega picks up the yellow card as a result of it. And this is a real dangerous opportunity. Miguel Cubo just on the run through there. Caught late, and Tarrega knows exactly what he's doing there, isn't he? Only 24 years old, but he's got a fair bit of experience to his name. And this is a good opportunity, just a metre behind the left-hand corner of the box here, after that foul on Miguel Cubo. It will be, as you might expect now, Molina, who gets himself ready to take it. Molina towards the back post, but that's straight to Stol Dimitrievski's gloves. And he'll be more than happy to take that. Here's a nice ball in from Molina, inviting the runs forward, but just a little bit too close to the goalkeeper there, as Ramazani is released in the centre, but he's tackled well there by Vargas. Vargas' ball is given away, though, and it goes out for a throw to Atleti as Valencia try to put the ball forward to no avail. Coming up to the 70-minute mark, still no goals in today's game. A point which would probably be more valuable to Valencia than it would be to Atletico, as they would like to charge down the distance between them and third place. Valencia, though, they do need to keep an eye on the teams below them. As things stand, they would move just 1 point ahead of Rayo Vallecano and Espanyol, who have 39 points. But it is fairly packed at the bottom with Elche, Mallorca, Deportivo, who play very shortly, on 38 and 36 points, and Sevilla at the top of the relegation zone on 34 points. And now, here comes Lopez down the right-hand side, trying to put the ball in towards Duran. Headed down by Sadiq, out to Guido Rodriguez. Rodriguez to Gaia, back into Ramazani in the centre. Ramazani takes the shot on! And behind for a goal kick. It's a good attempt from Ramazani, as it's a nice break, first started by Lopez, down the right-hand side. But Ramazani's shot just goes out. Musso dived across. It always looked like it was going out, but Musso acrobatically dives across his goal there. So he may well have had it covered had it been on target. But it's a decent attempt from Losce, but they do need more attempts on target. It's been few and far between really for them so far this game, as now they try and get the ball down onto the left-hand side. It's going to be brought down here by Almada. Passes the ball backwards here into the centre to Mendoza. Mendoza now dribbles towards the halfway line, towards the box where he's tripped. He wants a foul. Referee says no foul. It does get a bit of a shove in the back there, but play is continuing for the meantime as Almada. Now back to Almada once again after linking up there in the middle. He's got Vargas in front of him if he wants to. Instead he goes to Mendoza. Mendoza has a little flick towards the left-hand side. Now in the centre to Cubo. Played backwards here. And Valencia able just to neutralise the attack for the meantime as Longlet tries to keep it going forward. Longlet now in towards Mendoza. Mendoza plays the ball towards Luque. But that's a little bit too much, and it goes straight towards Stol Dimitrievski as Stol rolls the ball out, trying to get a quick counter-attacking movement going here from Valencia, who I said the point would be more valuable, but they would love 3 points to really make sure safety is mathematically guaranteed, and they get themselves a little bit of distance between the teams who are just 1 point behind them at the moment as Almada dribbles forward on the right hand side, brought down under a foul by by Hugo Duro, excuse me, and that'll be a free kick to Atleti. And Valencia fans still just looking a tad frustrated here. They want to see a bit more of their team. This is a proud footballing city. Only really the one club in this city. There are, of course, a few in the area and in the Valencian province. Elche, of course, being one there. But really, this is a proud, historic city, the third largest in Spain. And they do really want to see for their team to be at the level that they expect from it. As the ball is held up here by Sarabia, who tries to clear out, and it goes out for a throw. And now there'll be two further changes for Atleti, and these are changes that you might expect to see. Griezmann is on, Koke is on as well. Almada comes out, and the other man out is Rodrigo Mendoza. And I tell you what, to bring on Koke is not a bad replacement to have at this time. The 34-year-old, he has 733 appearances for Atleti. How about that for a stat? There's also a couple of changes here, as the captain Gaia is withdrawn for Valencia, and Vázquez is on in his place. And Ramazani is also out, replaced by... I'll check actually who he's replaced by in just a second, as Atleti have a chance here to get forward. Kubo on the edge of the box, takes it, oh, it's in! Atleti have scored to open it up. It's Ikaluke who has the shot. And he's broken the deadlock here. Moments after the changes, come on. Was taking the captain off just there a mistake? I was still in the process of telling you the changes. While Ikaluke scores his first goal for Diego Simeone's side. It's a right-footed shot from just outside the box. He receives it in a perfect position. One touch to knock it forward. And Ikaluke has given Atleti the lead. It's a deserved lead, it has to be said. But that will really take the wind out of the sails of Valencia, as Ikaluke nets his debut goal for the side. And I would be surprised if Valencia make their way back into this game. Danjuma was the change, but I was in the process of telling you about Danjuma on for Ramazani. Jesus Vázquez replaced the captain moments there in the build-up. And now I think it's Pepe Lu who wears the captain's armband. Obed Vargas credited with the assist for putting that pass forward. That's his first assist of the campaign. Is there a response now from Valencia as Lopez tries to get forward on the right-hand side, passes the ball back to Sarabia, now to Guido Rodriguez in the middle. Rodriguez here, threw the ball into the centre, now over to Jesus Vázquez. Breakdown here from the middle for Danjuma. Danjuma tried to put the ball into the centre. Danjuma can't quite pick out anybody though with the pass out to the edge of the box. Danjuma once again will put the ball in towards the back post, a chance for head, but Musso is there to thump the ball away and prevent the danger. That's good incisive goalkeeping from Musso, who does stay down as a result. So does, incidentally, the Atleti player in the build-up there as well. I think Musso collides with his own defender, with Julio Diaz, in fact. And in that collision, both players are down, but it's Musso who remains on the deck here, as he just shows good, insightful goalkeeping. Having another look here, it's a lovely pass from Obed Vargas. The spot that Ika Luque is free and in a great position, and Luque has the space to take a touch, to knock it forward, to be able to take the shot on his right hand side. And Valencia will be ever so disappointed there that they gave him the space. He shouldn't be able to take a touch there, Ika Luque, in that position. Juan Musso is now back up on his feet. And it'll be a goal kick as a result. That Musso plays to the left-hand side. Now through to the halfway line. Here's a chance for Kubo to try and chase it down, but he can't get past Tarrega, who passes back to his goalkeeper, but that's given away there on towards the edge of the box. Here's another chance for Kubo to get forward, and Stolen just going to lose it out. Griezmann puts the ball back across the face of goal, but Jesus Vasquez is able to get hold of that before the oncoming Griezmann threat. Sadiq tries to turn. Sadiq unable to do so though. Past Bonyar, and now Griezmann with the ball in the centre. Griezmann loses out for now to Guerra, but that's given straight back to Vargas. Vargas tries to play the ball on the left-hand side to Ika Luque. Just a bit too much on that pass though from Vargas. Goes out for a throw. 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes remaining on the clock. We do now have a goal. We needed a goal in this game, I tell you what, didn't we? Coque here. Coque passes the ball. He looked for Griezmann, can't pick him out with the pass. Goes straight back to Jesus Vasquez. Now Pepe Lu, a little bit unsure of himself, has to pass back to Dimitrievski. Vargas will try and chase this one down. Vargas looking for the ball here to Griezmann. Cleared out there just about by Guido Rodriguez. I think that goes all the way back for a corner. The Valencia fans do not look happy whatsoever. You can see them remonstrating with the team. With just over 10 minutes remaining, another corner for Atleti. Valencia fans are not happy. There's sour faces around the ground here as the corner comes in towards the near post, headed over and in towards the roof of the net and straight out for a goal kick, which Dimitrievski takes quickly now to try and find Sarabia on the right hand side, who is clipped there by Ika Luque. And he wants to take the free kick. Luque has other ideas there as he just allows his teammates to get back in place. Free kick taken straight to Guido Rodriguez. Guido Rodriguez now to Vasquez. Little give and go there to Danjuma. Danjuma tries to pick up the ball in return, receiving a pass from Vasquez. Doesn't quite work out as planned, and there'll be a throw to Atleti here. Maybe further changes in store. And what has been a disappointing performance. Jose Gaya not looking happy whatsoever on the bench there. The Valencia captain, as Kubo tries to break free, but he can't get past here. And Javi Guerra will try and take the ball forward to get something going here for Valencia. Ball trying to play forward to Diego Lopez, but he misses out here as Molina. But Diego Lopez does really well there to come back and reclaim possession. Gives the ball to Guido Rodriguez, who gives the ball away again. How many times has Valencia given the ball away in dangerous positions here? This time to Luque. Back towards Griezmann. And now Coque once again into Griezmann in the centre here. Lovely touch there from Griezmann to then pass back to Lenormand. This time over to Javier Bonyar. Bonyar into Coque in the centre. Bonyar this time plays the ball back round to Obed Vargas. Vargas to Longlet. Longlet with a nice ball through onto the left hand side here. Back into the middle to Vargas. Now back towards Molina. And back again to Longlet. Valencia have to try and get the ball away from Atleti here. As the ball is played along, looking for the run of Griezmann. Griezmann brings that down very nicely. He just tripped in the edge of the ball, but now he played it forward. Here's the shot, and it's a second goal! And Atleti! Or is there an offside flag? There is an offside flag surely there against Miguel Cubo. Or is it against Griezmann actually in the build? I think it's Griezmann who ran offside. He brought it down really well. It is Griezmann who's offside. And one more change here from Valencia. Sarabia off. Renzo Sarabia on. In his replacement is Dani Raba. It's an attacking change here from Carlos Corberán. Dani Raba on to try and bring something for Valencia. He's only marginally offside there, Antoine Griezmann. Well, I didn't spot it myself in real time. And he then passes back after tripping. He does really well there to pass to Miguel Cubo, who does well. You've got to say Miguel Cubo makes the right decision to still put the ball in the back of the net, even though the whistle had already gone. Now there's a hold in play here. They are checking the offside. Now, could Miguel Cubo be given his first ever goal? Referee is check complete, goal given! Miguel Cubo has his first ever goal. What a day for the 18-year-old. Great work by Antoine Griezmann, who's already shown why he was needed to be brought on to help make the difference. Miguel Cubo, the 18-year-old, has his first ever goal for Diego Simeone's side here on his first ever appearance. Fantastic narrative that'll be for him. Antoine Griezmann adjudged to be onside after all. I feel a sense of vindication for having called the goal in real time. Then worried if I had preempted my own excitement in the celebration. But I'm glad I did, because the goal is given after the VAR check, and it's now all over for Valencia. And it will still be a gap at the end of the day between between Atletico and Villarreal. They will be, as things currently stand, on 63 points. Villarreal, a surprise package this season, on 68. But that'll be something, and I think probably most importantly, the confidence booster going into Tuesday's Champions League trip to London. As the clearance there from Tarrega is charged down by Cubo, and Cubo then charges down on the goalkeeper. I tell you what, talk about confidence of the young man. He just charged down a defensive clearance and then a goalkeeping clearance. Valencia win themselves a throw, but that is a man who is full of confidence right now, Miguel Cubo. And why not? He's just scored on his first ever appearance to silence the Mestalla, which is not an easy thing to do. But right now he has managed to do just that. Atleti now leading by 2-0. 2 second half goals coming. Cubo, an 82nd minute goal. Ikaluke on the 74th minute. And Valencia really, who've offered so little, just for one shot on target. Ramazani's first half attempt into the post. That's really all they've offered so far, Valencia. It is little wonder that the fans do not feel particularly happy with this, as Danjuma has the ball on the left-hand side. He plays it into the centre to Tarrega. Now we're going to try and get something going fast here. Lopez with the ball in towards the centre and behind. Do they win a corner? They want one. They're not going to get one, though, Valencia. With just 4 minutes remaining of regular time on the clock. They're checking again. And he's a decent amount onside actually in the end, in the build-up there. Antoine Griezmann just having a look at the lines. It was a fairly quick check, and I think they got it absolutely spot on. But now Valencia will try and work their way forward here. Danjuma plays the ball out towards the left to Vasquez. Not able to keep the ball in play just yet. Oh, they do manage to keep it back inside. Atleti convinced the ball had gone out of play for a goal kick. It wasn't. And now they'll have a throw here, Valencia. Danjuma. Charged down though by Vasquez. And now Griezmann will try and generate the counter-attack. They want another one. Griezmann is pushed down to the ground there. No foul though by Danjuma, who's then himself has hands all over him. Danjuma managed to give the ball onto his left-hand side to Vasquez. Vasquez turns it back here to Guerra. Guerra now into the middle to Rodriguez. Rodriguez holds up play on the right. Now back to Javi Guerra. Can Valencia get forward? One time here. Down the left-hand channel to Danjuma. Danjuma here on the left-hand side. Now back to Javi Guerra just outside the box on the left. Javi Guerra puts the ball in towards the centre. Cleared out for now by Longlet. Out towards Guerra, who will once again try and get a ball. Guerra's pass is given away straight to Griezmann here. Griezmann once again will try and go for a counter-attacking motion. That's a lovely pass from Griezmann. Forward to Iker Luque. Luque running forward with the ball. Luque still going. He does really well there to hold up the ball. But Guido Rodriguez is able to intercept from him. Guido Rodriguez brought down there by Iker Luque. And that'll be a free kick to Valencia. 2.5 minutes remain plus however much stoppage time is added by Jose Luis Munera and his team. Valencia coming forward slowly but surely once again. This time the ball into Danjuma on the left-hand channel. Danjuma trying to find a way in towards the box. Gets past his man there. Danjuma puts the ball towards the back. A little bit too much on it, but it will be picked up by Lopez. Now in towards the centre to Rodriguez. Rodriguez in towards the centre. Duro tries to take it on. Cannot really direct it goalwards. And Atletico will clear out towards the halfway line, where Tarrega will pick up the ball. Signs of life here in the final few minutes from Valencia. Well, I say, maybe I spoke too soon because that part, oh, it does. Danjuma just, it looked like he was going out, but Danjuma just about keeps it in. Danjuma now dribbles towards the box. Danjuma out to Guerra. Guerra under pressure from Griezmann. He feels he was caught there by Griezmann, but Guerra will try and go still. And this time it's put out for a throw to Atleti, although has the referee retrospectively given that for a free kick for just catching. It is. And now here comes Guerra, puts the ball into the centre. Oh, but Musso very quick and able to get hold of that. But I think the referee is pulling play back here. Free kick was taken, it seems, a little bit too quickly. And this time there will be a free kick given to Valencia. In towards the centre. Put behind for a corner. Just having a look there at what happened in the build-up to it. After that free kick was given. With Valencia now leading by 2-0. Excuse me, Atleti now leading by 2-0. That's what the Valencian fans would love to be hearing today. As Vasquez passes the ball. Passes the ball back to the goalkeeper. Dimitrievski looks to clear long to Sadiq. Too much on that from Dimitrievski and goes all the way back to Musso. And now Valencia with the 90-minute mark gone. Can they get a goal back? If just that. 7 minutes will be added on. As Jesus Vasquez picks up the ball outside his box, doesn't go back to his goalkeeper. That's good to see. Instead, he passes down the right-hand channel. Valencia trying to get through on the right, but it goes straight to Obed Vargas. Vargas now to Koke. Koke doesn't see options in front of him, so he passes back to Longlet. Now, once again on the left-hand side to Molina. Vargas again here. Back to Longlet. And now back to goalkeeper Juan Musso. Musso plays the ball on the right-hand side. Well held up there by Naul Molina. Griezmann tries to put the ball forward for the run of Obed Vargas. Can't get past Tarrega there. And Valencia have themselves a throw. Guido Rodriguez dribbles the ball on the halfway line, now passes to Guerra. Guerra knocks the ball forward on the centre now. A lovely ball forward on the right-hand side. Here's an opportunity for Diego Lopez to chase it down here. Passes the ball back here to Dani Raba with the ball over top, and it's comfortable. Oh, it's not caught. Musso drops it. Sadiq has the ball. Sadiq will try and shoot. Sadiq finds the goal. But it's not going to count. Omar Sadiq's goal is ruled out immediately by the referee. Let's see exactly why here. I think, it's what Sadiq is adjudged to have pushed Juan Musso, the goalkeeper, which causes Musso to spill the ball, allowing Sadiq to get out and take the loose ball and boot it into the top corner. Now they are going to check. There's always complaints about too much protection from the goalkeeper, but I have to say I think they've got it absolutely right. Omar Sadiq bundles into the keeper, and it does cause Juan Musso to spill. If you heard me in the build-up, I was saying it's a comfortable catch for Juan Musso, and then all of a sudden he didn't catch, and that was because of the coming together with him and Omar Sadiq. And from what I can see, the decision stands. Sadiq will not be given his fourth goal of the season, and the scoreline will remain 2-0. And I know there are complaints about protection to the goalkeeper, but I do think that is absolutely right, because as soon as Sadiq barges into the keeper, it's almost impossible for Juan Musso, who will be enjoying celebrating presumably a clean sheet with days away to his 32nd birthday. 4 minutes remain of the extra time here. Atleti want another as the ball is played nicely here to Ika Luque. Luque coming. Luque takes the shot. Oh, but it's saved very well by Dimitrievski there. And that was nearly a second goal for Ika Luque, who would have put this game to game, set and match if it's not that already. Instead, they'll have to settle for a corner, Atleti. And they'll have no problem with that whatsoever. Griezmann now on corner duty. He's already got an assist to his name. Can he get another? Headed out towards the edge of the box. Luque tries to get it back in towards the centre, but that just lofted up airily like a pitching wedge. Valencia go back to their goalkeeper. Can they come forward for one final time with just 3 minutes remaining on the clock? No, they can't on this occasion. It's dealt with very well by Longlet, although Longlet's clearance not the best there. Javi Guerra in towards Jesus Vasquez. Now to Danjuma. Danjuma comes forward on the left-hand side. Back to Vasquez. Tries for a give and go with Danjuma. He finds it. Danjuma puts the ball in towards the centre. Sadiq will try and take the shot. Doesn't get any purchase on it, and it's cleared by Atleti out to midway in the defensive half and out for a throw. And now a chance here once again for Valencia. Tarrega will put the ball forward to Lopez. Lopez with the ball in towards the centre, looking for Rodriguez. Again cleared out by Atleti, this time out as far as Tarrega. Now to Pepe Lu. Pepe Lu over to Danjuma. Danjuma. Can he find space in front of him with 2 minutes remaining on the clock? Danjuma unable to find a way past Molina, but he puts the ball back to Javi Guerra. Javi Guerra now out to Tarrega. Takes the shot from distance, and that's a wasted opportunity. Well outside. In fact, it's Dani Raba, who takes the shot from distance. Well outside. But does it catch somebody? Does it catch Obed Vargas? I think it does catch, Obed Vargas on the way through. It does catch Obed Vargas on the way through, and it's adjudged to have caught his hands. It's going to be a free kick to Valencia. Didn't look to me that Obed Vargas' hands were in an unnatural position there. In the meantime, all sorts of chaos. Valencia wanted to take the free kick quickly. They do so, and they put the ball in goal. But the referee says no, they were already setting up for the free kick, and I think he gets that one correct. But now in the final minute of the 7 additional extra minutes, Valencia have themselves a free kick just outside the box right in the centre. Meanwhile, Diego Simeone will make one final change on the 96-minute mark. He's going to withdraw Javier Boñar. And I think it's Alexa Puric who will come on. But a good shift today, Javier Boñar. And it will be, yes indeed, Alexa Puric who comes in for this final minute of the game to help defend this free kick and make sure the clean sheet does remain. This may well be the final moment of the game. Valencia with the free kick headed away. Out of the danger for now. And out for a throw. Danjuma comes over on the left to take the throw. Vasquez earns the throw to Valencia. Taken down the left-hand channel. That's surely a free kick to Atleti for a high boot there. That's dangerous as well. As the substitute is caught immediately by a high boot. Chance to have another look at the replay of what Valencia believe was their first goal. But again, really can be no disputing the matter. Now the 97 have gone. And surely only a minute or so before the referee is to blow his whistle and indicate full time in this game. And that will now be it. Full time here at the Mestalla, and Atletico did it in the second half. It's not been the best of showings from the hosts, who just had one shot on target the entire game into the bottom of the post. They saw a little bit more of the ball with 53% possession, but the scoreline indicates a comfortable victory for Atleti Madrid. 2 goals in the second half. First goals for Iker Luque and Miguel Cubo, the 18-year-old, gives Atleti the lead, the victory. And as they prepare for their Champions League fixture on Tuesday, they will enter that with a stride in their step. Valencia, meanwhile, travel next weekend to Athletic Club of Bilbao, and they need to try and get a result from that, as they now remain, or they slip to 13th place in the table. Still level on points to Espanyol and Rayo Vallecano, but goal difference means they drop to 13th, and they need to keep an eye on proceedings below them as well. Well, that's it this afternoon from the Mestalla. I hope you've enjoyed all the coverage we've brought you, where the hosts, Valencia, lose by 2-0 to Atletico de Madrid. Thank you so much for listening, and whatever you're up to for the rest of your Saturday, we hope you have a fantastic